Happy holidays, Fairfield. You're watching Fairfield Public Access Television. Connie Boyer and I, Susan Kessel. This is where we got our start doing these opening door shows,
That's right. That's right.
So today we're opening the door to the outside, the Fairfield Square, the holiday lighting, to talk about everything that it takes to put together the displays and everything in Central Park. And this year we have a new project, which is the Trees of Lights campaign, and Connie and I are on the Chamber's Christmas Holiday Lighting Committee, which we call it now, not the Christmas Lighting Committee, and to raise funds for this. And we're going to talk with John Schirmer here about his wonderful piece, The Santa. So let's talk about the committee and the lights for just a minute.
Well, I think we should start by saying the members of the committee. Susan already mentioned us, but we also have Deb Carlson and Sean O'Sullivan, and of course Nancy Morrissey of the Chamber, who helps us really a lot. She's our kind of our right-hand gal, does a lot of legwork for us. And Deb Davis and Dee Zillman. Did I get them all?
I hope so. It changes from time to time and from year to year, so if anyone would love to join this committee, we'd welcome you too.
That's right. We're small but mighty, and we can always use more hands and feet for this work. And we pretty much work all year around. Maybe not as hard in the spring and summertime as in the fall, of course, but this is kind of an all year round project, and it's a lot of fun and very gratifying at this time of the year, especially the night after Thanksgiving when the lights come on and the kids are here, and it's incredibly amazing to me every year to see the families come back and bring their kids to this that are home for Thanksgiving. So it's a lot of fun.
And this year the lights were dedicated to Mark Shafer, and you got to introduce him.
That was fun, and he was very deserving over the last few years. He's helped us quite a bit with some of the Christmas projects. He and his students actually 2 years ago helped us restore the choir boys and girls over here on the other side of the park, and scraped off the old paint, repainted them, and Mark did all the faces on those little guys, and they're really beautiful. And this year we have them all turned around, the little people all turned around, so as you walk around the square you can really see the detail on those faces and how beautiful they really are, and it's a real testament to his artwork, and we really do appreciate what he's done for us over the last few years.
So a lot of the things that we do all year long, it takes a lot of work. There's, we were talking about, sometimes you have to refurbish the things. There's always light bulbs, there's greenery, expenses, electrical, and we were talking about the electrical in the square. Things have to be placed a certain way because of the power, and that might be changed or increased in the future. And we have our new project this year, which was the Santa, which John did, and I think it's wonderful.
Susan, why don't you tell us about the start of the Santa and where this piece of wood came from?
Okay. Well, I saw the tree at Howard Park over a year ago, and they had just cut it down. And we were talking about this project, and I contacted John. It's ash tree?
It's ash, yeah. I thought it was oak, but it's ash.
I know we have said oak sometimes and ash at others, but it isn't ash. And we finally got going on this project, and you started in September?
Yeah, I started middle of September, and just kind of worked away at it for about 2 weeks, and then took a break, rebuilt my strength, and went to a spa. And, no,
Really?
No, I'm kidding. But it was hard work, but because I take a lot off with a chainsaw as much as I can, and then I just take a chisel and a mallet and just bang away, which is nice because it's a slow go, and then I can examine it and take a look without being too fast about it, and judge it slowly. So, but banging it with a mallet it was fun. It was a lot of fun, but I needed that break, and then I came back and another 2 weeks and finished it off, and it was just a great project. I loved it.
Well, we want to thank you because we really didn't expect it to be done by the Thanksgiving weekend, and you surprised us, had it done, stained, finished and everything, and on the square by the time we had our dedication on the Friday after Thanksgiving. And I remember when you were doing this and we did our first show, I kept wondering how old this tree was. Did you count the rings or anything?
No, I didn't. I didn't have time to count the rings. I should have counted them, but we'll just estimate that it's over 100 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
And there is another big chunk of it left, and
Of the tree?
Of the tree, the same tree, and some people have been saying that he looks kind of lonely out here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's it is kind of lonely. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe he needs a companion.
And that's what someone else mentioned. And we have thrown it around at our committee meeting the other day that possibly, wouldn't a Mrs. Santa Claus look nice out here?
Well, the other piece of the tree is the lower section, and it's a little larger. So, there's room for Mrs. Santa Claus's dress. We better do it quick, though. I'm aging by every day. I get a little older and weaker, and so.
Now, you said this was a fun project, so there was no major breakage or anything like that when you were doing it.
This was a sweetheart project. I just, from start to finish, from putting the log in my yard, and it was perfectly set up, and then just carving it and moving it. People showed up at the right time to help me move it, and.
Do we know how much it weighs?
It weighs plenty. 600, 800 pounds.
Okay.
But, just everything was just wonderful about it, just the timing, and I really wanted to get it done for the dedication of the lights, and I was carving the mouse, and a mouse showed up, and I was carving the bird, and a bird showed up.
Oh my
Ooh.
It was... Everything was.
Well, let's see. What do we call that? That's a little gift.
Good luck.
A little gift from nature there, I think. That's really wonderful.
So it was just from start to finish, just great.
Now, all the different colors, is that all wood stain or some of it paint or?
Well, again, it was just something that I had to mix up. I wanted a red that was kind of antiquish. And so I found some. I put in a cherry wood stain, which is basically kind of a brown. I dumped in some red paint and mixed it up and put it on, and voila! It was just ideal color for an antiqued look, and yet it also brought out the grain of the wood. Ash is like oak. Very grainy, and so it just beautiful grain. So I wanted the grain to come through. And as I was carving it, when you carve into, let's say, the eyeball, you carve into it, and the grain automatically turns into an eye or an iris, and so it just was so interesting the way the grain worked out as I was carving it that I painted the eyes exactly like the grain of the wood was, and that's why the surprised look on his face, the very happy. That's the way the grain was, and it just looked good, and I thought, I'm not going to change that. And then I had some white that was a country white stain that just had hanging around, and then the blue on the bird and the gray on the mouse and the green on the gloves. I mixed oil paint and spar varnish, just kind of mixed it up. Touch of cherry stain to deepen it, and put it on. It would just work great.
Well, it's really a fun piece, and my husband and I came up and had our picture taken by it. It was almost like he was a real person. I mean, he really does have character and life, and in fact, we met my brother up here, and he said, you're about the third person to come and do this, so people are coming and taking their picture by it. Wow. And I was telling Susan, we put our dog's leash on his mast and made the dog sit there, and so our dog got his picture taken too, while Santa held the leash. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, I was startled more than once when I was turned around and then I looked and oh geez, I thought
Someone in
somebody
your
was
yard.
there. Who's this?
You know,
But
I find it interesting too that this is not. I thought this was the base of the tree, and you're telling me that it's not.
that's about the middle of the tree, and the base is a little, just obviously bigger, and but we just kind of measured and figured out that I could get him out of this section of the wood, and so that's what we did.
Okay, well, I hope you're around next year. I see all the wheels turning in our heads. And one way we raised money for this was we took the sketch that you had done and we took it over to Ottumwa to Billy Whittle. And what's his real name?
Greenlee. Bill Greenlee is his original real name.
There you go. And he made a mold, and then we had some small Santas that were just like this one that he made a mold. He carved a mold and poured resin, I guess is the appropriate term. And then he and his wife painted them, and they're all signed on the bottom, and those were available at the chamber. I don't know if they have any left.
No.
They're gone?
Don't say they have any. They'll shoot us.
Okay, there's not any left, and we've already reordered once. And twice?
Twice. I'll tell you
twice.
that story later.
Okay, so it's been a really great project, and the community has really come through on that, and we really do appreciate it because we just love this piece, and we really hope that there are more to come in the future here.
I think we were talking that it was faced the other way, and who turned it? Did the city turn it? Did you turn it?
Well, I mentioned it to somebody that it probably should be turned towards the light, and so. And then I just came, and it was done by somebody, and maybe Glenn or Nancy had something to do with it, or I don't
Also, Glenn and the city crew has been wonderful to help us with this, just getting the lights and the setting it up and chaining it down and all these things that we have requested. And I hope that maybe we talked about this too, was maybe some staging can be set up a little to make it a little more impressive, because it's a beautiful piece out here all by itself, and the staging makes such a big part in how you see it. So maybe another piece, some more staging, and we'll end up with a park full of originals.
Yeah, I think it'll grow. I think it's a great idea.
Now, I just wanted to ask one question about the wood. Now, you said ash is like oak. I mean, is it as hard as oak?
No, it's a little softer than oak, and actually beautiful carving wood. I really haven't carved ash very much, never really, and I was expecting oak, but it carved very, very nicely, just like similar to walnut or mahogany, just a nice, but not as soft as pine or something like that. It's a hardwood, but it carved beautifully.
Well, John, I know Connie and I are thrilled to have this finally in our square, and hope that we get to talk to you again in the future about maybe a future project for the Holiday Lighting Committee. So on behalf of Fairfield, thanks for creating this treasure for us to enjoy.
Well, thank you very much. I've actually thought about it in the past and thought it'd be nice to have something that I could do for the city, and I'm just honored and delighted to be a part of it.
Thank you. The Holiday Lighting Committee is raising money for the lights in the Fairfield Square this year, not by door-to-door canvas. Thank goodness. That was so difficult.
Yeah, it really was. And it took a lot of people to put it together, and it was getting harder and harder to find people to give up a Saturday. Everybody's lives are really busy with their kids' activities, and so we thought we'd try something new this year.
So change, there's always got to be change, and we feel really good about this, and that's the Trees of Lights campaign, and we hope that Fairfield will be participating in this. I know that I have, and what it is that you'll see these little advertisements in the newspaper around town. They're on table tents, they're on posters, they're at the banks, everywhere.
I think that pretty much covers
everywhere. And pick one up or cut one out of the newspaper and it tells you exactly what we're doing. And
Well, what we're going to do here is you can purchase bulbs. And basically the proceeds go for the lights here in the Christmas in the park. I should say holiday lights, because we're not only Christmas, we want to encompass all the different religions, and that this is a special time of year, and so it doesn't matter really what church you belong to or whatever, that we're all participating in a special time of year, and to appreciate where we live and what we do in our life and the many blessings that we have here. So at any rate, you can purchase anywhere from a white bulb, which is $5, up to $100, which is we call a string of lights. And you can purchase those in honor or memory of a family member or whoever. And then right before Christmas, we're going to be publishing all the donors that participate in this program. And I know that the businesses have been very, very supportive, as always, every year, and we thank them so much. I was just talking to Lisa Greenlee at lunchtime and saying how, we are so blessed because the businesses in this community give so much, whether it's to this project or to other projects. And, people that are involved in those projects, we really do appreciate all the support that you're giving the different organizations. And we really want to say thank you from the Chamber Lighting Committee for all the support you've given us over the past years and supporting this new program also.
I agree. I just wrote a letter to the editor saying almost those same things, is that I know that the businesses and institutions and banks and everyone around town are constantly asked for things. And they keep giving and giving. And so this is for them and everyone, but also individuals. And like I said, I have done this, and I decided that I wanted to buy red bulbs, which are $10 each. And I did one for my husband's deceased father, George, and his mother, Wanda Kessel. And then I did one for my parents, OJ and Marie Bates. And it's just a special thing that I wanted to do for them. And they'll get to see their name listed in the paper and know that we thought of them this holiday season in a special way.
And that it could be actually a gift for, some people that, what do you buy for them? They have everything. So a little donation in their name is much appreciated, probably from them, because they don't have to return anything, or it doesn't fit, or they don't like it, So more and more of those kinds of things are very appropriate gifts, and they also do good in the community. So we hope that the individuals will get out and pick up a clipping or clip it from the newspaper, take it to the chamber, stop by the chamber, and participate in this program. And they have until the 19th, is that the right date?
It's around the 15th, 19th to have this done. Oh, here it is. December 15th, we hope to have them all, so we combine the list and get it to the ledger, and then it will be published. And these go to the Chamber of Commerce at 204 West Broadway. I suppose you could make up your own form if you wanted to and send a donation. And they go in increments of $5 for white bulb, $10 for red bulb, $20 for blue, $25 for green, $50 for gold, and $100 for a string of lights. And also businesses or places could do this for their employees too.
Yeah, so, whatever gift giving that you need, or just your generosity of, if you appreciate what we're doing up here and enjoy this time of year, enjoy the lights up on the square, then we really hope that you'll participate.
I know that every year the chamber, or sometimes letter to the editor, someone drives through town and takes the time to actually write a note and say, thanks for the holiday display. It was really meaningful and beautiful, and I commend you on it. So we want to keep this tradition alive in Fairfield, have it grow, maybe change, but definitely grow and continue.
And we should talk about a couple of the other things that we have still for sale at the chamber. We have some mugs. They're navy blue, and they have a picture of the square here, which Susan drew. And those are not holiday oriented. They can be used all year round. and for any type of gift. And we also have some aprons.
Yes, Gourmet a la Fairfield aprons in all different colors that make wonderful gifts for men and women, kids. There are even orange ones for teachers, and businesses could wear them in their stores to promote the lights. There's all kinds of ideas you could use these for, and those are available, and the money raised from that goes towards our lights.
That's true. And we do have one more event coming up in February. We have a new event where we're going to have a Valentine's ball. It's going to be February 10th at the Walton Club, and we're pretty excited about that and working on that right now. And there's another gift-giving idea that if you would like to buy tickets for that ball to give to your employees, you can get those at the chamber. I should say we don't really have them printed up yet, but we can make something up really quick if that's something you desire. And we're hoping that this will become an annual event and kind of a big event where people can have fun dressing up and going to a party.
Something to look forward to in February.
Right. That's always a time when, we're kind of tired of the winter here, and we want something a little more fun to do, and, we need a little diversion from winter.
Sounds good.
So we're hoping that this will be a really fun event. We've hired a DJ. In fact, we booked him almost a year ago, I think it was. And it should be a fun event.
Great. And that's another fundraiser for the holiday lights. And like we said, we think about this all year long. And this is the time of year that you get to see it and enjoy it. But there are people working on it. So I hope that you will contribute and to the trees of lights. When you see these forms around town, pick one up and fill it out and send it in.
And we thank you for that.
Thanks.